"That's the nickname of the fiend, Red Boy," said Pilgrim, who lived in the fiery cloud cave by the dried pine stream in the roaring mountain. "Why does the true immortal ask after him?" "He happens to be my nephew," replied the master. "And the Bull Demon King is my brother. Some time ago, my elder brother told me in a letter that Sun Wukong, the eldest disciple of Tripitaka Tang, was such a rascal that he brought his son great harm. I didn't know where to find you for vengeance, but you came instead to seek me out. And you're asking me for water?" Trying to placate him with a smile, Pilgrim said, "You are wrong, sir. Your elder brother used to be my friend, for both of us belonged to a league of 7 bond brothers when we were young. I just didn't know about you, and so I did not come to pay my respect in your mansion. Your nephew is very well off, for he is now the attendant of the Bodhisattva Guanyin. He has become Sudana, the boy skilled in wealth, with whom even we cannot compare. Why do you blame me instead? You brazen monkey!" shouted the master, still waxing your tongue. "Is my nephew better off being a king by himself, or being a slave to someone? Stop this insolence and have a taste of my hook." Using the iron rod to parry the blow, the great sage said, "Please don't use the language of war, sir. Give me some water and I'll leave." "Brazen monkey!" scolded the master. "You don't know any better. If you can withstand me for 3 rounds, I'll give you the water. If not, I'll chop you up as meat sauce to avenge my nephew." "You damned ignorant fool!" scolded Pilgrim. "You don't know what's good for you. If you want to fight, come up here and watch my rod." The master at once countered with his compliant hook, and the two of them had quite a fight before the Abbey of Immortal Assembly. The sage monk drinks from this procreant stream, and Pilgrim must the immortal compliant seek. Who knows the true immortal is a fiend that safeguards by force the abortion stream. When these two meet, they speak as enemies, feuding and resolved not to give one whit. The words thus traded engender distress, rancor and malice so bent on revenge. This one, whose master's life is threatened, comes seeking water. That one for losing his nephew declines to yield the stream. Fierce as a scorpion's the compliant hook, wild like a dragon's the golden hooped rod. Madly it stabs the chest, what savagery! Aslant it hooks the legs, what subtlety! The rod aiming down there inflicts grave wounds. The hook, passing shoulders, will whip the head. The rod slaps the waist. A hawk holds a bird. The hook swipes the head. A mantis hits its prey. They lunge here and there, both striving to win. They turn and close in again and again. The hook hooks, the rod strikes, without let up. Victory cannot be seen on either side. The master fought the great sage for over 10 rounds, and then he began to weaken. The great sage, however, grew more fierce, the blows of his rod raining on his opponent's head like a meteor shower. His strength all gone, the master fled toward the mountain with his compliant hook trailing behind him. Instead of chasing after him, the great sage wanted to go into the abbey to look for the water, but the Taoist had long had the door tightly shut. Holding the porcelain bowl, the great sage dashed up to the door and kicked it down with all his might. He rushed inside and saw the Taoist leaning on the well, covering its mouth with his body. The great sage lifted high his rod and shouted that he was about to strike, causing the Taoist to flee to the rear. Then he found a bucket, but just as he tried to bail some water, the master dashed out from the rear and caught hold of one of his legs with the compliant hook. One hard tug sent the great sage tumbling beak first to the ground. Clambering up, the great sage at once attacked with his iron rod, but the master only retreated to one side. With hook in hand, he cried, "See if you could take away my water. Come up here. Come up here," yelled the great sage. "I'll beat you to death." But the master refused to go forward to fight. He just stood there and refused to permit the great sage to bail out the water. When the great sage saw that his enemy was motionless, He wielded his iron rod with his left hand while his right hand tried to let the rope down the well. Before the pulley had made several turns, however, the master again struck with his hook. As the great sage could hardly protect himself with only one hand, the hook once more caught hold of one of his legs, causing him to stumble and the rope to fall into the well, bucket and all. "This fellow is quite rude," said the great sage, who clambered up and, holding the iron rod now with both hands, showered his opponent's body and head with blows. Not daring to face him and fight, the master fled away as before. Again the great sage wanted to get the water, but this time he had no bucket and moreover he was afraid that the master would return to attack him. He thought to himself, "I must go and find a helper. Dear great sage." He mounted the clouds and went straight back to the village hut, crying, "Sha monk." Inside, Tripitaka was moaning to endure the pain, while the groans of 8 rules were continuous. Delighted by the call, they said, "Sha monk, Wukong's back." Sha monk hurried out the door to ask, "Big brother, have you brought water?" The great sage entered and gave a thorough account to the Tang monk. Shedding tears, Tripitaka said, "O disciple, how is this going to end?" "I came back," said the great sage, "to ask Brother Sha to go with me. When we reach the abbey, Old Monkey will fight with that fellow and Sha monk can use the opportunity to get that water to save you." Tripitaka said, "Both of you who are healthy will be gone, leaving behind the 2 of us who are sick. Who will look after us?" The old woman waiting on them said, "Relax, old Arhat. You don't need your disciples. We will serve you and take care of you. When you first arrived, we were already fond of you. Then we saw how this Bodhisattva traveled by cloud and fog, and we knew that you had to be an Arhat or Bodhisattva. We'll never dare to harm you again. You are all women here," snapped Pilgrim. "Whom do you dare to harm?" "Oh dear father," said the old woman, giggling. "You're lucky to have come to my house. If you had gone to another one, none of you would have remained whole." "What do you mean?" said 8 rules, still groaning. "By not remaining whole," the old woman replied. "The 4 or 5 of us in this family are all getting on in years. We have given up the activities of love. If you go to another family, there may be more youthful members than old ones. You think the young ones will let you go. They will want to have intercourse with you, and if you refuse, they will take your lives. Then they will cut you up to use your flesh to make fragrant bags. In that case," said 8 rules, "I won't be hurt. They all smell nice, and they'll be good for fragrant bags. I'm a stinking hog, and even when I'm cut up, I still stink. That's why I can't be hurt. Don't be so talkative," said Pilgrim, chuckling. "Save your strength so you can give birth," the old woman said. "No need for delay. Go quickly to get the water." "Do you have a bucket in your house?" asked Pilgrim. "Please lend us one." The old woman went to the back to take out a bucket and rope to hand over to Sha monk, who said, "Let's bring 2 ropes. We may need them if the well is deep." After Sha monk received the bucket and the ropes, he followed the great sage out of the village hut, and they left together, mounting the clouds. In less than half an hour, they arrived at the Male Undoing Mountain. As they lowered their clouds to go before the abbey, the great sage gave Sha monk this instruction: "Take the bucket with the ropes and hide yourself. Old Monkey will go and provoke battle. When we are in the thick of fighting, you can use the opportunity to go inside, get the water, and leave." Sha monk obeyed. Wielding his iron rod, the great sage son approached the door and shouted, "Open the door! Open the door!" The Taoist who stood guard at the door hurried inside to report, "Master, that Sun Wukong is here again." Greatly angered, the master said, "This brazen ape is insolent indeed. I have always heard that he has considerable abilities, and today I know it's true. That rod of his is quite difficult to withstand. Master, said the Taoist. His abilities may be great, but yours are not inferior. You are, in fact, exactly his match. But twice before, said the master, I lost to him. Only in a contest of sheer violence, said the Taoist. Later, when he tried to bail water, your hook made him fall twice. Haven't you equalized the situation? He had little alternative but to leave at first, and now he's back. It must be that Tripitaka's pregnancy is so advanced and his body so heavy that his complaints have driven this monkey to return, against his better judgment. He must feel rather contemptuous toward his master, and I'm sure that you will win. When the true immortal heard these words, he became delighted and filled with elation, full of smiles and brimming with power. Holding straight his compliant hook, he walked out of the door and shouted, Brazen Simeon, why are you here again? Only to fetch water, answered the great sage. That water, said the true immortal, happens to be in my well. Even if you are a king or a prime minister, you must come begging with offerings of meat and wines, and then I will only give you a little. You are my enemy no less, and you dare to ask for it with empty hands. You really refuse to give it to me? Asked the great sage. The true immortal replied, Yes. Yes. You damned fool, scolded the great sage. If you don't give me the water, watch my rod. He opened up at once and rushed at the true immortal, bringing down the rod hard on his head. Stepping aside quickly to dodge the blow, the true immortal met him with the hook and fought back. This time, it was even more ferocious a battle than last time. What a fight! Golden hooped rod, compliant hook,